Well, this is pretty cool. I love Richmond. Richmond is a great place to raise a family, to learn, to work. It's a great place to start a business, a great place to run a business. A lot of people are noticing this. They're packing their things up. They're moving their families to Richmond. They're moving their businesses to Richmond. This is cool. Richmond's getting more diverse. It's getting rich. It's really becoming a fantastic city. But this growth does have some downsides, at least some potential downsides. So as more and more people come to Richmond, we need to be a little careful about what it's going to mean to Richmond so it stays a good place. The time to think about these issues is now. If we wait too long, it may be difficult to solve some of these problems. So we should be doing something about that now. So what am I talking about? Well, a lot of these people coming to Richmond are going to probably do what you did when you went to work last week, which is drive to work alone, most likely in your car by yourself. Richmond's not a very commuter-friendly town, and we do an awful lot of single vehicle travel. Richmond just barely stays ahead of the EPA standards for air quality. As more and more cars get on the road, we're going to lose our sweet Virginia breeze. What that means is that Richmond is not going to be as nice a place despite this influx of people. The traffic from Northern Virginia is going to come down. We're going to have our 15-minute commute is going to be an hour commute. Our 10-minute backup is going to be a 45-minute backup. Essentially, we're just not going to enjoy Richmond as much. Richmond's going to suck. All right, I don't want that. You don't want that. What are we going to do about that, okay? So my recommendation is to start thinking about it now. Let's start thinking about what we can do about it to prevent that, okay? Here's another example. A visitor comes to Richmond. They go to the airport. They go to the train station. They're kind of in a desert of transportation. What are they going to do? It's very difficult to get around. There's no comprehensive or consolidated way to get around, so they're probably going to rent a car, and they'll put another car on the road. And they don't know how to get around Richmond. Richmond is not a visitor-friendly city for moving around. We need to do something about that because we want to encourage people to come to Richmond to visit so they can come and join us also. So we need some ideas, right? We need to come up with something that'll solve this problem before it becomes a problem that's too difficult to solve, like you see in Northern Virginia, for instance. So one thought is we could have a metro, right? All right, well, that seems like a good idea. A consolidated transportation system, easily accessible, affordable, and we can get around a lot better. That sounds like a great idea to me, except there's a problem. Richmond really doesn't have the money to build a metro. Plus, metros take a lot of digging, a lot of disruption, a lot of construction, right? Richmond doesn't have the geography. We're kind of spread out. So I don't think a traditional metro is probably the answer for us, although we need something to happen. So we've got to keep thinking, I guess, a little bit. Well, what about a virtual metro? Maybe there's a way where we can put our transportation systems together where people will consolidate and cooperate in a self-serving way that will benefit all of Richmond. What if you could use your smartphone to find out that there's a bus that'll be here in 60 seconds? Or you can use it to hail a cab, or you can use it to hop on a trolley, or you could use it to borrow a bike, or you could use it to rent a zip car, just by clicking a few buttons on your smartphone. What if no matter what that transportation provider was, whether it's GRTC, James River Bus Line, Segway, Zipcar, Groom Transportation, you could also pay. So you're not swiping, no cash, no credit cards. So you get the transportation, you hail it, you use it, and you pay for it. Now when you go door to door in Richmond, when a visitor comes to Richmond, they have some choices. They could rent a car, that still might be best for them, but it may not be what they need to do. They ought to be able to have some choices to get from point A to point B using a combination of private and public transportation. If we consolidate the network of transportation, then we'll have a system where people can get around Richmond and they will avoid some of these single vehicle occupancy trips. Not all of them, but some of them. And as more and more providers come on board, this will become more successful. So I'm introducing RVApass. RVApass is metro without the digging. The idea is to consolidate our transportation providers and our consumers into one network all over your smartphone. Okay? RVApass is a startup. We've got a finance guy, we've got a traffic engineer, a transportation provider, and a pencil-net geek. And we put this thing together to try to build this network in Richmond. RVApass, we're working on RVApass. It's coming soon. The idea is that we'll have this up and running probably in about a year, and you guys can all use it. So think RVApass so Richmond won't suck. Thanks very much.